Let's talk about when you should test. In this section, we'll talk about the warning signs, the behavior, the statements, and other things that should lead to a decision to test.
Having a body of knowledge to draw on will help you carry out the reasonable suspicion process. This includes knowing when to take it personally, when to pay a little bit closer attention, what the warning signs of alcohol and substance abuse are, and how to interpret behaviors and statements. Also helpful are knowing the effects of drugs and alcohol on the body and knowing your company's alcohol and drug policy. Alcohol or drug abuse is often a very personal subject, but with very public ramifications. How do you know if an employee is misusing? You might have an idea based on what you've observed over time, but it's important to understand the exact warning signs, symptoms, and effects of substance abuse. Remember, it's imperative that you act on your suspicion, even if you risk being wrong, and even if the person is someone you would not otherwise suspect of using. It would be detrimental to your company, to the employee, and the monitoring public if your suspicion is right and you do nothing about it. There's no question that it's your obligation to act on reasonable suspicion as part of your job. But for our alcohol and drug program to be truly successful, your interest in an employee's situation should also be personal. You probably would show a great deal of concern for a friend or a family member with a drinking or drug problem, with or without a regulation or other requirements prompting you to take action. So if you suspect someone of having a problem, the first priority is to keep them and everyone else safe by removing them from performing any safety-sensitive functions until you can verify those concerns. You should also keep in mind that you may not be the only one who's aware of this person's problem, and that the problem doesn't just affect the company. Think of their friends and family. Think of their own quality of life. Another question asked is, what am I supposed to look for? The questions on the right are meant to get you thinking about any unusual behavior in a new light. If you can answer yes to any of these questions when thinking of a particular employee, you may want to watch that individual more closely in the near future, in case alcohol or drugs may be to blame. You might catch a potential problem using reasonable suspicion testing before it can turn into a tragedy for everyone involved. Have you noticed a sudden or unusual change in their behavior that doesn't make sense to you? Do they appear unkempt or disorganized when you've known this person to take pride in their appearance in the past? Do they appear unusually nervous, agitated, or stressed? Do they appear calm and unaffected to the point of apathy? Is their work performance below average or consistently slipping? Do they seem fatigued or unusually tired? Do they have difficulty concentrating on what you're saying or understanding simple directions? Have they mentioned a change in eating habits or appetite, or have they undergone a dramatic weight loss or weight gain? Are there any items missing from your crew, from your company? Have you ever caught this person in a lie? If the answer is yes to any of the questions we just asked, these are often warning signs directly associated with substance or alcohol abuse. If you see these signs, you should pay close attention to determine if reasonable suspicion testing is warranted. Lean in. Let's talk about behaviors and statements. Sometimes what seems like a casual statement is in fact a sign of substance abuse. Comments made by an employee which indicate increased tolerance to alcohol, a memory lapse as a result of substance abuse, increased dependence on alcohol, or a preoccupation with alcohol or drugs may indicate substance abuse.